We're going to look a bit more at messaging between two users. So I've got two browsers open here and both connect to the test database. The first one is our user who has items added to the database, and it's actually test.test.com. And we'll have a look at the top here and we'll see if we click on my items and you click get my items. We'll see that this person has added a lot of items to the database. We'll close that. On the right here, we've got a user who's trying to contact test.test.com. And right now they've done this through a stored search. So we can have a look at the items which match our stored search. I believe we tried to make contact with the first item. We'll click make contact and we should get a failure. Yeah, cannot make contact. That's because of our spam protection. We've sent a request to make contact already to test.test.com by this user here, which is paul@test.com. Now I believe all of these items are owned by test.test.com. So if we even try other ones, we should get the same error. There we go, we can't make contact. So this is important in making sure that one user doesn't send a lot of emails to another, unless we want to allow that. And we can configure Dataflex Link to be able to send as many follow-ups as we want. We'll look at that in a future video. In the meantime, we're just going to have a look at the messaging between the owner of the item and the person trying to make contact. Now I showed you the email in the last video that will have been sent from Paul to test.test.com. I'll bring that up. As we can see, it's been sent to test.test.com, but test@test.com does not know that it's come from Paul@test.com. It only knows that it's come from the app WordPress plugin tutorials. So let's see what happens now if we click on the reply. So now we can see that we've opened a link which will show this item here and give us the ability to reply. However, it says we do not have permission to view this item. The reason why that is because we need to have view access to this item that's been added by paul@test.com. So I'm going to go ahead and change that access now. Let's make this window big. All databases. And we want to amend a stored search on test items. And we need to set view to public. So I'll open this and we'll go down to access control. Let's click the edit settings button, access control, and we'll change viewing items to public. Save that. So let's go back to the message we've been sent. And what we can see here now is we can see the entry which has come from paul@test.com, and this basically shows what paul@test.com has entered, and it shows the message that they sent us. Someone would like to chat to you about this entry. We can see the context of why they've sent this to us by looking at our item. We can click on that. We can see this is what they're asking about. So in here we can choose to make contact with the person who sent this. Again, we don't know that it's paul@test.com, and we're just going to say, hi there, I am test@test.com. You can contact me directly on this email. Regards, Test. And we'll send that message. So it says contact failed, so there must be a problem with the settings on the database, and this would be on the stored search database. So let's go and have a look at that. I'm going to open a new window, and let's look at the settings for our stored search database. Let's click edit, and we'll go to email contact. Right now it says that it's not allowing contact from other users. Now a standard database is considered to be the same as a stored search in respect of contact, so we need to click this button here. So let's do that. Edit settings. And we'll put that there. We'll leave all the other details as is for the moment. And we'll save this. Let's close this window and we'll try and make contact again. This time we get contact made and we get a message which has come through to Paul at test.com from test.test.com. So let's have a look at that email. Right, so this was the original message from Paul at test.com to test.test.com. Bear in mind that this email setup is a developer's email tool, and it will just take in any mail that is sent to any email address. So we're kind of looking at both users here right now. So let's switch from message received by test.test.com to message received by Paul at test.com. And here we can see the message that test.test.com sent to Paul at test.com. We can either reply here, but now test.test.com has revealed themselves to us, so we can do this directly. It's basically down to the user and how you set things up as to how this will work. However, I'm going to click reply. Actually, if I click reply, it's going to open in the wrong browser, so I'm going to see if I can open this in the correct browser. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it into Paul at test.com's browser. So I'm going to move this back over to the left. So this is test.test.com. We can see this here, and this is Paul at test.com. Now I'm going to paste this in here and we'll enter, and now we can see the history of our emails. So us as Paul at test.com has sent to test.test.com this message. We sent it twice because we allowed a follow-up, and then Paul at test.com has responded. Again, we can see what item the user test.test.com has sent us about, and click on that and we'll have a quick look. And there we go, they've messaged us in response to this entry, and this is the detail of their entry, which is the tennis. So the detail of test.test.com's entry. I appreciate this is confusing when I'm being two users at the same time, but hopefully you get the idea here. Obviously, I would advise that you run some tests on communication just to make sure that it meets your requirements.